Do you slow down for every pond or lake that you drive past? Do you often wonder if these bodies of water might hold fish? Well, that was certainly the case with this one. I'd probably driven by this lake over 100 times, but never actually stopped to fish it. A fleeting glimpse of water was all I'd ever get as I sped past, but that was enough to remind me it still existed. Now today it's time for some answers. With no information about fish species or depth on the Onyx Fish app, or even combing through old online forums, I was truly going in blind. Welcome back to another episode of Fishing in Lakes that might not contain any fish. Welcome back to another episode of Unreal Minnesota. I'm your host, Mike Wallace, and today we're fishing in lakes that might not contain any fish. We're bringing the kayak down this creek, and one of my favorite things about fishing in these lakes that might not contain any fish is there's usually no one around, and I'm usually in the middle of nowhere. But today I'm on the side of a county road. There's gonna be a few people driving by. It's not gonna be quite as sneaky as the usual spots, but I'm gonna show you what the plan is. We're sticking with the theme of paddling down creeks. There's this creek that winds back to a lake that on satellite imagery, it looked really shallow. And I've yet to get a big pike this year. I actually was on a lake last night, and that's gonna be in the last episode where I hooked into a big one. And if you haven't watched that one yet, that was a good one. But I ended up losing it. I didn't even get to see it, but I know it was a big fish. That's what I would like to find today. But honestly, when I find fish in these lakes, I don't really care how big they are. So, enough talking. Let's get the kayak unloaded. Let's see if we can get to this lake. Hopefully there's no beaver dams. That's kind of the biggest obstacle when you're going down these creeks. We're gonna get unloaded, get on the water, and get this adventure started. So stay tuned. Pretty solid ground. Pretty cool tunnel down there. Ooh, we just bottomed out. Well, I thought this would be plenty deep to paddle up. This might be more of a pain than I thought. Maybe that was it. Let's see if we run into any more rocks. Uh-oh, first obstacle. Now, it doesn't look like much probably from the camera. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Just the start of a beaver dam. Okay, it was flowing backwards, so everything I go over should be easier to go back towards the truck, which is good. I don't like when it's harder to get out of places. Looks like we're gonna make it, no problem. Just that one mini beaver dam. We gotta be almost to the lake. A little breezy. We must be on the windy side. Oh, I jinxed it. See if we can navigate around this. Wow. Almost lost the pole. There we go. Bigger than I thought it was gonna be. So the wind's coming straight down this entire length of the lake. I might paddle all the way down to that end and just drift back before I even start fishing. See if we can get a sense of how deep the water is. This is always fun to see. Someone's got a nice duck hunting spot. All right, I just got done paddling across the entire length of this lake. It's kind of shaped like a giant peanut. It's got some narrows. A couple of reasons I did that is one, I wanted to see if I could find any deep water because on satellite imagery, it looked shallow and weedy. And paddling across, that was the case. Everywhere I saw it was about 2 feet deep. The other reason is the wind is blowing pretty good all the way down the length of this lake. So I wanted to kind of work with the wind when I'm casting. And being shallow, I think this is a prime candidate to find some pike. I don't know if there's gonna be any big ones in here. Honestly, I don't even know if it's deep enough to hold anything through the winter, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna start out by tying on a spinnerbait, old trusty, and we're gonna get after it. That's the bottom right there. And it's kind of muck, so I was pushing in about that far. Yeah, I'd say a little over 2 feet, maybe 2 feet. And here in Minnesota, we usually get about 2 to 3 feet of ice. I think I might be a little impressed if this lake actually does hold any fish. But pike seem to be those type of fish that can survive in inches of water, thriving off of feeding on frogs or minnows. And they're aggressive, so they're easy to find if they're in here. And that creek I paddled in was flowing out of this lake, but I didn't see any other moving water. So I don't know if anything flows into it or if it just has one outlet creek. Oh, is that a fish? Oh my goodness, I didn't even feel it bite. What in the world? There's a pike. Wow, where did he come from? Tiny guy. Oh, just started swimming sideways. I thought I was hooked on a weed, but that is our first fish. Not huge, can only get bigger. Heck yeah, right in these weeds. That's a good sign. That took about 20 minutes. Everywhere, non-stop. This is probably my least favorite grass to fish in because it just rips out so easily and it gets tangled up in the spinnerbait and then nothing's gonna bite. So I don't really have a lot in my tackle box, but what are you guys fishing for this kind of weed? Specifically for pike. Every single cast, it's just weeds. I'm kind of amazed I caught the one fish. It's gonna be a struggle today, because this entire lake is just grass. I think my best bet is gonna be to paddle out into the middle here where there's any sort of change in depth and a little bit less weeds. But as you can see, there's weeds sticking out all over in here. Pretty much just gonna celebrate any cast that comes in without weeds because it's pretty rare. Did I mention there was a lot of weeds in this lake? My goodness. Like, I don't even know what to do. Oh my goodness, a cast that almost came in without a weed, aside from that. But my spinner was still spinning on that one. This might be the deepest part of the lake. There's weeds, but they're a little bit more sparse out here. Wow, look at that. Not a single weed on that cast. It's all about the little wins. Okay, this might be my least favorite lake, simply because these weeds are annoying every cast. And they're hard to reel in. My arm's getting tired just from pulling in so many dang weeds. I'm about ready to just give up. I caught a fish out of here. It holds fish. What am I even fishing for anymore? I could just pack up and go to a different lake. That's a fish. There we go. Oh my goodness. He ate a weed salad. That was coming in. Oh, okay. Wasn't huge, that's fine. My lure was full of weeds and he even still chomped on it. I guess you gotta be vegetarian in this lake. That would have been fish number 2. I need to start bringing a net. All right, I'm almost to the other side of the first half of the lake. The Narrows is right up there. So far the score is 1 fish, 500 weeds, and lost 1 fish. Haven't seen anything big, but there's got to be something in here that's worth fishing for. We might get into one. Maybe the other side is going to hold them. It's kind of It's shallow in the middle, so it's almost like two different lakes, but we'll see. Man, I don't even know where to cast. There's so many weeds. I can't believe. Oh, that was a fish right in front of me. I was just gonna say, I can't believe fish can survive through the winter in here. Maybe I just gotta talk bad about the lake and then the fish will start showing up. Like I was saying, I can't believe any fish would survive through the winter. Is that a fish? That's a fish, wow. It's not huge, but it's bigger than the first one. Got him. Oh, jeepers, almost. Now we got him. Skinny guy. We'll let you get right back in. Long and skinny. There you go. Two fish on the board. There we go. That's a fish. They're stacked up over here, right in the narrows. Oh, easy come, easy go. That's fine. He wasn't huge. There we go. Another little pike. Wow. Oh, he choked that pretty good. Really good, wow. There we go. Nice looking fish. I want to show you guys how deep of water these fish are sitting in. That is the top of the muck right there. I can push it down. It's just muck right there. A little over a foot, maybe 18 inches of water. There we go. We are getting into them. Where are the bigger ones though? That one choked it too. All right. We're just coming through the back half of this channel here, about to open up into the first half of the lake that we originally paddled across. Still waiting on the big one though. Kind of incredible. When I saw this on the map, I thought this was gonna be a good spot for pike. But when I started paddling across it and got onto it, I was starting to lose hope. And that's what makes finding these lakes fun. Well, they seem to be laying right in this thick grass. If I can get them to bite before the weeds do. I bent this wire down just a little bit to try and get those weeds to shoot over the top, and it seems to be working fairly well. And the spinner still spins, but it just goes right through this stuff. Oh. That's a fish. Yep. He hit it and he swam right at me. Look at that pile of weeds that he ate. Come here, buddy. Been a while. That was about an hour of no bites, no fish signs. We are almost down to the other end of the lake, and I was about ready to call it quits, but I'll take it. Really haven't seen anything worth coming back for, unless there were some really big fish in here. It's a lot of work sorting through these weeds, and it makes reeling in the lures a lot harder. But we're gonna fish between here and there, and then the creek flows out there. Then we're gonna call it a day. There's a fish. That one feels a little better. No, maybe just aggressive. That's embarrassing. That might be the smallest one yet. He just hit it really hard. Come on, buddy. Oh, right down the lap. That's gonna stink. Okay, I am convinced there's nothing bigger than about 20 inches in here. The creek that I came in on is right behind me, so 3 hours of fishing, about a half a dozen pike caught. It's time for lunch. I'm gonna get out of here. So as always, thanks for watching. I'll see ya in the next one. I can never quit fishing right when I say I'm gonna be done. I don't know what it is. It seemed fishy. All right, now we'll call it a day.